Some time ago, somebody asked me, Blackstar, if you got all these ideas, you always talk about anime games, why don't you talk about how to make an anime game better? Give them ideas. So, before I can give you the good stuff, I gotta tell you what the bad stuff is. And I'm gonna tell you what a copy, no, not a copy, but what a bandit beater game is. And the term bandit beater is a term that me and Cap came up with, right? But I feel like me and Cap are only people who actually use the word bandit beater correctly. A lot of y'all don't know what a bandit beater game is. I'm going to explain to you what a bandit beater game is and what sets it apart from other games. Alright, I'm going to tell y'all right now. Now the first thing you gotta realize is if a game has NPCs or the way you progress in such game is from fighting NPCs, that doesn't make it a bandit beater game, alright? What makes a game a bandit beater is when you're playing the game and you able to think to yourself, damn, I'm ready to sit here hitting bandits. You may be asking yourself, Black, how the fuck does that make sense? I'm gonna tell you right now. When you're not immersed into a game, you start asking questions about the game. When you're playing fucking Final Stand or DBOG, what you really doing? You're just in there hitting NPCs, right? But you never really asking yourself, oh damn, I'm just punching NPCs. You feel like you're playing Dragon Ball Z. You wanna know why? Cause the combat is good. Your game becomes a bandit beater game when you punch bandits. Well, I don't say punch bandits. When you punch NPCs and the combat system isn't fun. It's like all these One Piece copy games. It be the same fucking combat. You sit there, these garbage ass animations, these ass moves. You just sit there, punch a bandit, punch an NPC, and that's what makes a game a bandit beater game. Another example of a bandit beater game is those games where it has like gun stats, sword stats, strength stat, and to raise those stats you sit there and you just spam click with such tool or just with no tool if you're trying to train strength or something. And the reason those become bandit beaters is because the combat not fun. You sit there overnight with an auto click and you come back in one shot shit. Coming back in one shot and shit is never fun in a fucking game, bruh. Especially when you expect people to do these dumbass quests. You want people to train up these dumbass stats for what? For what? No satisfaction in the end game. Now, I'm gonna talk about RPG games, right? RPG games are role-playing games. You should already know that. Now, in a role-playing game, you feel immersed into the game, right? RPG games and Roblox, fucking Rogue. GPO is a bad one, but it's an RPG game. DBOG, Final Stand, like those RPG games, because you feel immersed with the combat, you able to say, oh, okay, I'm not sitting here just punching NPCs. I'm not sitting here just grinding quests. I feel like I'm actually having fun playing. I like. Prime example, games like Reaper, Bandit Beater. I tried to sit there and like explain why the game was failing, and just like I said, the game failed. That like I tried to help, I tried my best, nobody listened. You're probably asking why GPO a bad RPG game. It's because the systems in that game are fucking horrible. The effects look good. The PvP ass, I'm gonna give it a buck because I've seen some PvP matches. I've seen my friends play, and that shit looks so unfun and cheesy. But the fact that forces you to do everything in the game in big ass groups is like kind of annoying. Considering that you could barely fight any bosses without like 6 people. That's annoying as fuck. Everybody don't got 6 friends to play. But your main progression most of the time you're sitting there just fighting NPCs. The combat good, but most of the time you're not really exploring the combat when you fight NPCs. You're just sitting there, you know, just spam clicking because the NPCs don't really have. They're not good programmed AI. They just run at you and fucking punch, right? About NPCs, that's another thing, bro. Heroes Ultimatum NPCs, DBOG NPCs, Final Stand NPCs. Those NPCs are like made to use the actual combat in game. You feel me? Like, it feels like you're fighting the actual player sometimes. But for games like fucking GPO or fucking Shinobi Life, for example, the NPCs just run at you spamming M1s. That shit don't feel engaging. It just feels when NPCs do blatant NPC like shit, that makes you feel like, damn, bro, I'm sitting here just fighting something lifeless, my nigga. Which is why games that have, you know, enhanced NPC fights, they may be the ones that last longer. They may be saying, oh, GPO bosses are good that they fight, no, but they don't fight smart. They just do stupid amount of damage and they got a dumbass amount of health. That's not fun to fight against, bro. The main part of your game not being a bandit beater is it has to be fun. When your game not fun, then you think to yourself, damn, I'm really sitting here punching the NPC in this unfun ass game. When a game fun, a person won't think about that. When a person having fun, they won't care what they're grinding. Which is why I can sit there, I can play Heroes Ultimatum for like 8 hours straight, just sitting there fighting the same NPC, but I'm actually having fun fighting. Like, that's a lot of times I've died in NPCs because sometimes they just beat my ass. Like, I ain't the best player, but I'm not garbage either. You feel me? Sometimes Ultimatum, if a hero get too low, they'll run to another hero, and then you'll get jumped by heroes. That's what I'm saying. Like, NPCs You gotta make your NPCs do smart things, bro. When your NPC system is just basic as fuck, they just run at you, spam clicking M1, just doing regular basic attacks. That shit not fun. It makes you sit there and look like, damn, bro, this NPC stupid as hell. Which NPCs should never be fucking stupid. It's an NPC. You can program them to do whatever the fuck you want. And because you can make it do whatever you want, I don't understand how people can make NPCs and not have it use the actual combat system. They just have the NPCs run at you and just spam click M1 like that. That's not fun. Like that's not engaging. When a game not engaging, you sit there and start to ask these questions about, damn, why is this game shit? And you start to realize why is the game shit. I'm telling you, if more people made their game engaging, niggas would still play it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sit here and say every game needs a PvP type system. Some PvE games are good. There are a lot of great PvE games, but one thing a lot of Roblox games fail with the PvE aspect is the grinding, right? You make people go through this long ass grind for a reward that's not worth it, bro. Like, let's see, fucking Final Stand, DBOG, Dragon Ball Z games, right? You make people go through that grind for fucking Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 2 and shit, right? But let's say like a fucking random fantasy game, right? You make people go through this long ass grind for this mediocre skill at the end, like vetting game, for example, right? I think that's the name, vetting. They made Hunter x Hunter shit. If you weren't spinning, or everything you're looking with your spins, if you weren't putting in some actual Robux, you weren't getting the cool shit, right? So with your basic shit, you just put in all that time and level, you probably feel like, damn, compared to the other nigga, I'm not having as much fun because I'm not flashy, I'm not flexing. His skills are so much more fun to use than mine. Why would I keep using my shit? It make you look. Players get jealous, right? Players get jealous. You can always be able to buy shit in games, that's a thing. But when your game becomes overly pay to win, or when your game becomes to the fact like, yeah, you can sit here and grind this shit, but the shit that you're grinding for isn't at least somewhat up to par with the shit niggas paying for, your game becomes ass. I'm not saying ass, your game becomes unfun. Another thing about NPC grinding, artificial difficulty isn't fun. Give an NPC a shitload of health and making them shits one-shot shoot, that's not fun. You making NPC do some stupid shit like making NPCs read your movements, making NPCs parry everything. That's not fun, okay? Artificial difficulty is not fun in fucking games, bro. Kill bricks. A lot of people may like it, a lot of people may hate it, but personally to me, kill bricks are just one of the main sources of artificial difficulty, bro. Because it's like, yeah, you step on this brick, you make one false move, you die, and like that's not fun to me. That's not fun to me at all. Now you're probably wondering, well, how you make a strong NPC then? I don't know, right? Snake World NPCs, them shits don't read movements. Them shits play like regular players, especially bro. Them BU NPCs, bro. You can feint them niggas. You can parry trade with them. Like it feel like you fighting a real fucking player. Them DBOG NPCs, bro. It feel like you fighting the fucking Xenoverse NPC. It don't feel like I'm fighting this fucking level 99 400 IQ god of a game or some shit, bro. Like, when you give your NPCs artificial difficulty out the ass, it's not fun. Nah. I'm not saying make every NPC fucking easy, right? Okay, some NPCs can do a shitload of damage. Some NPCs can do a shitload of health. Some NPCs can parry everything. When you make one NPC do everything, bro, like fucking Grand Peace, for example, where you gotta team up with 7 niggas to kill one NPC, bro, that shit not fun. That shit not fun at all. Another example of horrible NPCs are Shinobi Life, and I shouldn't have to tell you why they're horrible. Not only is the combat not good at Shinobi Life, but the NPCs in Shinobi Life, they literally play like bots, right? Like, maybe wonder what does a bot know? If they play like Fortnite style, Call of Duty style, run into you while fucking not shooting, scope down type bots, right? There's no challenge at all at doing them. And don't get me wrong, sometimes that having a challenge is good, right? So sometimes you want people to have it easy, players to have it easy, but when the NPC just feels like you're just fighting an empty shell of you're just fighting a fucking mesh model, like you're just sitting there punching a wall or something. But that shit not fun. It's like, personally, when I play Shinobi Life 2, my leveling off fucking like grinding levels for like KK cards and shit, I'd rather prefer to sit there and punch a log before I sat there and go fight an actual moving NPC. That's how garbage the NPC system was at Shinobi Life 2 to me. Like, I would rather sit there and punch something that couldn't move over something that can fight me back. That's how ass it was. The very last thing I can say is just, get some good testers. Get some testers that you know play games. And if your testers can't play your game without you telling them to come in game and test, then you know that it's probably garbage, right? Because people play things they like, especially when you don't ask them. If you catch them in game and they playing it, I mean they like the game, right? So just do that, bro. That's this section of how to make a better anime game. This time, I had to cover the what not to do's, right? Next time I cover the what to do's and some more strategies, some more concepts, and some more ideas I just put out on the table. If you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. But now niggas just can't say I don't be telling y'all what to do. You feel me? So nah, I gave you the keys. It's up to you to use them. At the end of the day, you just gonna leave me for somebody else.